Have you ever thought that there could be a country where men are extremely rare? Yet this intriguing reality belongs to a place hiding a wonderful mystery on the world map. Let's take you on a journey to explore 15 mind-blowing facts about this country, Lithuania. The country of beautiful women. Lithuania is one of the world's most notorious man-scarce countries. The statistics are absolutely staggering. For every 100 women, there are only about 80 men. Think about what this means for a moment. Streets and cities dominated by women are totally normal here. Lithuanian women rank 9th globally in average height and are known for being educated, independent, and enjoying life with or without a ring on their finger. The cultural twist that most people don't expect is how this affects dating dynamics. When it comes to relationships, Lithuanian women often split the bill or even insist on treating. They'll sometimes take the lead, from choosing the venue and planning the date to driving you there. Don't be surprised if she's the one who proposes or makes the first move. In today's digital age, dating apps like Tinder or Bumble are so widespread that in smaller towns you could literally swipe through the entire population in a couple of days. This demographic reality has created a unique social dynamic that you won't find anywhere else in Europe. Type number 1 if you want tips on how to connect with Lithuanian women online. The Sacred Bread of Lithuania. Lithuania holds a unique and almost religious relationship with rye bread. Here's the ritual that most outsiders find absolutely bizarre. If you happen to drop a piece of rye bread on the ground, according to ancient Lithuanian custom, you must immediately pick it up and respectfully kiss it. This gesture is a heartfelt apology, a way to express gratitude for the gift from heaven and for the labor of farmers. It reflects deep humility and respect for the cycle of work and nature, where bread is seen as a precious outcome. For this reason, throwing away bread is considered a grave taboo in Lithuanian culture, equivalent to disrespect and wastefulness. It's believed that bread carries the soul and fortune of the family, and mistreating it may bring poverty or misfortune. This almost religious reverence has made rye bread an indispensable part of every meal, celebration, and family ritual in Lithuania. What makes this even more interesting is how this tradition has survived modernization. Even young Lithuanians in cities like Vilnius still follow this custom. Showing how deeply embedded these beliefs are in the national psyche, the corner seat curse, Lithuania's superstitious warning of love. This will make you think twice about where you sit at dinner. Among Lithuania's many traditional beliefs, the corner seat curse stands out as one of the most curious and enduring, especially in old-fashioned families. This custom originates from an age-old belief meant as both a warning and a lesson. If a young person, particularly an unmarried woman, chooses to sit in the corner seat during a meal, she will be cursed with 7 years of misfortune in love. Unable to marry or find a life partner, this is more than a harmless superstition. It reflects the cultural weight of marriage in traditional Lithuanian society. The corner seat, often seen as informal or isolated, became symbolically tied to loneliness and marital bad luck. Therefore, during family gatherings, young women are often gently reminded or discreetly moved away from this unlucky spot to ensure that romantic fate remains bright and free from delay or sorrow. What's fascinating is how this tradition intersects with modern Lithuanian dating culture. Remember how I mentioned the gender imbalance earlier? This superstition adds another layer to the complex social dynamics around relationships in Lithuania. Before continuing, if you think this video deserves to be seen by more people, please support us by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell. We promise to keep bringing you exciting content. You might find a girlfriend after just 3 coffees. Living in Lithuania, you'll quickly realize coffee isn't just something to drink. It's a way of life that could literally change your romantic prospects. Cafes are the social heartbeat of the culture. Places where people can sit from morning till evening, chatting endlessly. Strangely enough, no one's in a hurry and no one feels awkward sitting for hours. Here's where it gets interesting. A popular rumor among tourists suggests that with just 3 cups of true Lithuanian coffee, you might gather the courage to strike up a conversation, make a new friend, or even stumble into a love story. It's usually sipped with honey cake, a sweet traditional recipe passed down for centuries. The statistics behind this are mind-blowing. The average Lithuanian drinks 3 to 4 cups of coffee daily. That's why cafes in Vilnius double as unofficial dating platforms. Not noisy bars, but cozy spots where the air smells like fresh coffee and warm pastry. What the world doesn't often realize is that Lithuania is among the top coffee-consuming nations in Europe, outpacing even France and Italy. In rural areas, some families still brew coffee in copper kettles over a wood stove, pouring it into cracked porcelain cups, a slow ritual that preserves memories in every drop. This coffee culture creates the perfect environment for the kind of slow, meaningful connections that are becoming rare in our fast-paced world. Lithuania's Symbolic Wedding Challenge. In traditional Lithuanian weddings, there's a ritual that perfectly captures the essence of marriage in ways that will make you rethink what wedding ceremonies should really be about. The most famous ritual is the sawing of the log. The bride and groom are given a long, two-handled saw and must work together to cut through a wooden log placed on a stand. This symbolic challenge conveys the message that marriage will come with obstacles that can only be overcome through teamwork and mutual effort. Successfully sawing the log signifies the couple's unity, cooperation, and shared strength to face future challenges together. But it doesn't stop there. There are humorous groom's challenges organized by the matchmaker or friends. These tasks are meant to train and test the groom's readiness for his new roles as husband and father. He may be asked to wash and swaddle a baby doll, symbolizing future childcare, peel potatoes to demonstrate domestic capability, or chop firewood to prove his ability to provide for the family. Sometimes, the groom must also overcome playful obstacles or answer riddles on his way to the church or wedding venue. Often needing to bribe his way through with sweets or alcohol, these customs serve to remind the couple of the key values of marriage responsibility, cooperation, and the commitment they are about to share for life. It's a far cry from the typical Western wedding ceremony. No alcohol sales after P.M. Since 2018, Lithuania has a peculiar rule that catches every visitor off guard. No alcohol can be sold in stores after 800 p.m. from Monday to Saturday and after 300 p.m. on Sundays. To an American used to buying beer at 2:00 p.m. This might sound bizarre, but for Lithuanians, it's just how life works. Bars and restaurants still serve alcohol, but don't expect to grab a few beers from a convenience store at 9:00 p.m. This rule has led to a kind of plan-ahead culture that's actually quite fascinating. People shop earlier and gatherings often kick off in the afternoon instead of late at night. Some stores even have countdown clocks to the alcohol cutoff, turning a regular shopping trip into a fun little race against time. What's interesting is how this has affected social behavior. Lithuanians have become masters of preparation, and spontaneous late-night parties now require more creativity and planning. This law was implemented to reduce alcohol consumption and related social problems, but it's created an entirely different rhythm of life that visitors find either charming or incredibly frustrating. Smart rule or too strict? Comment yes if you agree, no if it's too much. There's literally an underwater road in Lithuania. Lithuania has a hidden legend that even many Europeans haven't heard of called Kolinda. These are submerged stone roads built in medieval times, snaking through swamps and lakes like secret paths. From the shore, it looks like just calm water. But underneath lies a hand-laid stone highway sturdy enough to walk or ride across. The wild part is there are no signs. Only locals who've had the knowledge passed down through generations know where the paths begin. Some Kolinda are still intact today, seen as cultural treasures that let you feel what it's like to walk on water. In summer, certain tours will take you to walk a Kolinda, standing knee-deep in marsh while your feet are firmly on ancient stones. It's an experience that connects you directly to medieval Lithuania in the most literal way possible. These underwater roads were built by communities who needed to cross wetlands safely, and the engineering is remarkable. The stones were carefully selected and placed to create stable pathways that have lasted for centuries. Walking on a Kolinda feels like discovering a secret passage that time forgot. The Song Festival. The Lithuanian people have a deep and passionate love for singing that goes far beyond casual entertainment. Their magnificent song festival isn't merely a music event, but a living symbol of the nation's identity and spirit that played a crucial role in their independence. Dainų šventė, as it's called in Lithuanian, is a massive celebration held every few years, drawing tens of thousands of singers, dancers, and musicians from all over the country to perform on grand stages. The festival reaches its emotional peak with a breathtaking mass choir performance, where thousands of voices unite as one to sing folk melodies, patriotic anthems, and classical Lithuanian compositions. Here's what makes this truly extraordinary. Because of its historical and cultural significance, especially its crucial role in preserving the Lithuanian language and national identity during times of Soviet occupation, the Song Festival has been inscribed by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. During the Soviet era, these festivals became acts of quiet rebellion. Singing traditional Lithuanian songs was a way to preserve culture and language when both were under threat. The power of collective singing became so strong that it contributed to the peaceful independence movement known as the Singing Revolution. Vilnius, the hot air balloon, capital of Europe. Lithuania is internationally known as the land of hot air balloons, and this title comes from an astonishing statistic. Vilnius has the highest number of hot air balloons per capita in the world. Among all European capitals, none has more balloons soaring over its skyline than Vilnius. Unlike many major cities where balloon flights are banned or strictly limited within urban areas due to safety and airspace concerns, Vilnius is one of the few capitals in Europe that allows hot air balloons to fly directly over its old town. This creates an extraordinary experience for both locals and visitors. The Vilnius Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is famous for its magnificent Baroque architecture and charming red-tiled rooftops. Floating above the city offers breathtaking panoramic views of its historical landmarks and the serene rivers that wind through it. The best time to fly is usually early in the morning or at sunset, when the sunlight paints the city in vibrant, magical hues. Hot air ballooning here isn't just a special event, it's a regular recreational activity throughout the warmer months from around May to September. The city also hosts an annual hot air balloon festival, during which dozens of balloons take to the sky simultaneously, turning it into a spectacular soaking up the golden sun and soft sand. The heart of the town is the Palanga Pier, a wooden bridge stretching over 400 meters into the sea, an ideal spot to catch the fiery red Baltic sunset. As night falls, the main street Basanavičiaus lights up with cafes, restaurants, and open-air stages, turning Palanga into what feels like a mini Miami on the Eastern European coast. But Palanga isn't just about parties. About an hour's drive away lies the Curonian Spit, a nearly 100-kilometer-long sand peninsula recognized by UNESCO. Massive dunes like the 50-meter-high Pernitis create a landscape that's part desert, part seaside. It's a stunning destination for hiking, biking, and photography. Right on the Curonian Spit is the fishing village of Nida, famous for its colorful wooden houses, the Thomas Mann Museum, and a peaceful atmosphere along the bay. For more exploring, the port city of Klaipėda is just 30 minutes from Palanga, featuring an old town with traditional German-style timber architecture. The Pink Soup Festival. The Vilnius Pink Soup Festival is a relatively new event. Yet it has quickly become a unique tradition, celebrating Lithuania's most beloved summer dish, cold beetroot soup. More than just a soup, it's a culinary symbol of summer with a striking bright pink color. Created from a mix of pickled or boiled beets, cucumbers, boiled eggs, dill, spring onions, and most importantly, cool fermented buttermilk. Usually held in late May, the festival marks the official opening of summer in the capital. During the event, Vilnius's Old Town transforms into a sea of pink. Participants are encouraged to wear pink clothing, wigs, and even makeup to match the festive theme. Chefs and restaurants compete to create the most inventive version of the cold beet soup. One of the highlights is a large pink water slide set up on one of the city's steep streets, offering a fun and refreshing experience for everyone. Beyond the pink soup itself, visitors can enjoy various Lithuanian street foods, browse pink-themed crafts, and soak in the joyful atmosphere. The Pink Soup Festival is not only an opportunity for locals and visitors to savor Lithuania's signature summer flavor, but also a celebration of humor, creativity, and national pride. Life in Vilnius and its unique nightlife. Vilnius, Lithuania's capital, is stunning by day, but it's by night that the real magic appears. As the sun sets behind the domes of Gediminas Cathedral, The cobbled streets of the old town glow with warm light, guiding you into a different world, where street music mixes with the clinking of glasses from centuries-old bars. Here's something cool that most tourists never discover. In Vilnius, outdoor cinemas operate late into the night with audiences wrapped in wool blankets watching films under the stars in the courtyards of historic buildings. Food streets like Hale's Turgis turn dinner into a mini festival with DJs, street dancers, and live art performances. Along Gedimino Avenue, upscale cocktail lounges coexist with secret basement pubs that only open if you know the password. A cultural twist most Europeans don't even know about. And yes, you'll notice Vilnius women at night with northern elegance and Baltic boldness. But here's what few know. Vilnius also has a city within a city, the autonomous Republic of Užupis, where locals and artists throw night parties right on bridges over the Vilnia River. This self-declared republic even has its own constitution. President. An army of about 12 people. A city famous for 3,000 devil faces. Kaunas is Lithuania's second largest city. Located at the junction of the Nemunas and Neris rivers, Kaunas served as the temporary capital from 1920 to 1939, and many of its historical buildings remain perfectly preserved. But what makes this city truly unique will surprise you. Visitors can easily spot rare Art Deco architecture, so rare in fact that UNESCO added Kaunas to its list of modern architectural heritage sites. Every day the 1.6-kilometer Laivės Alėja Boulevard becomes a lively pedestrian zone filled with street music and surprise pop-up art exhibits. But here's Kaunas's real oddity that sets it apart from every other city in Europe. The Museum of Devils, home to more than 3,000 masks and artworks representing devil figures from around the world. In Lithuanian folklore, devils don't just represent evil but also cleverness. So many masks are as funny as they are creepy, used in festivals to ward off bad vibes and bring good luck. What's fascinating is how this collection started. It began with one man's personal hobby and grew into an internationally recognized museum. The devils come from every continent, each reflecting different cultural interpretations of mischief, wisdom, and supernatural power. Some are terrifying, others are comical, and many are surprisingly beautiful works of art. The museum challenges visitors to think differently about folklore and superstition. In Lithuanian culture, devils are often portrayed as tricksters who can be outsmarted, rather than purely evil beings. This reflects a cultural attitude that values wit and cleverness over brute force. Flavors you'll only find in Lithuania. Lithuanian cuisine is unlike anything else in Europe. And once you try these dishes, you'll understand why Lithuanians are so passionate about their food traditions. Let me take you through a culinary journey that will make your mouth water. Start with kepelinai. Giant potato zeppelin stuffed with meat or cheese, boiled then drenched in sour cream sauce and bacon. The name comes from their shape resembling German Zeppelin airships, and each serving can be as big as your fist. These aren't just dumplings. They're a complete meal that represents Lithuanian comfort food at its finest. Then there's kugelis, a golden baked potato pudding mixed with eggs, onions, and bacon. It's a national favorite, and every family has its own secret recipe passed down through generations. The texture is crispy on the outside and creamy on the inside, creating a perfect balance that's impossible to replicate. In the summer, nothing beats šaltibarščiai, that vibrant pink cold beet soup I mentioned earlier. It's such a cultural icon that McDonald's Lithuania once created a pink burger inspired by it. The soup is served with hot potatoes and creates a temperature contrast that's both refreshing and satisfying. No meal is complete without juoda duona, dense, slightly sour black rye bread. Remember the sacred bread ritual I told you about earlier? This is that bread. Lithuanians believe it's bad luck to drop this bread, and if it happens, they'll kiss it before throwing it away. At weddings, the centerpiece is šakotis, a massive cake baked on a rotating spit, shaped like a tree and standing up to 3 or 4 feet tall. The preparation is an art form, with batter slowly dripped onto the rotating spit to create the distinctive branch-like appearance. Other cultural classics include balandiliai, cabbage rolls stuffed with meat and rice that require hours of careful preparation. There's also kibinai from the Karaite community in Trakai, pastries filled with mutton that represent one of Lithuania's ethnic minorities. And don't forget the national appetizer, pickled herring with potatoes. To wash it all down, try krupnikas, a spiced honey liqueur that's been around since the 16th century and is still made using traditional recipes. The unique Hill of Crosses. Our final fact takes us to one of the most mysterious and spiritually powerful places in all of Europe. The Hill of Crosses is a place where crosses spring up overnight. This hill is smaller than a football field, but holds more than 200,000 crosses. And that number grows daily. What's fascinating is that the Soviet authorities leveled this site at least 3 times during the 20th century, even using bulldozers to completely destroy it. Yet by the very next morning, thousands of new crosses would appear again, as if they had risen from the earth itself. This became a powerful symbol of Lithuanian resistance and faith. Not all crosses are made of wood. You'll find intricate silver ones, recycled plastic versions, even crosses crafted from kitchen utensils like spoons and forks. Lithuanians believe it's not the material that matters, but the personal meaning behind each symbol of faith. Today, visitors come not only to pray, some come to wish for love, others to remember lost loved ones. The hill has become a place where personal hopes and collective memory intersect in the most powerful way. Few people know that in 1993, Pope John Paul II personally visited this site, officially turning it into a Vatican-recognized pilgrimage destination. His visit legitimized what had been a grassroots expression of faith for centuries. And if you visit at night when the wind howls through thousands of crosses, it feels like walking into a metallic choir. The sound is haunting and beautiful, creating an atmosphere unlike anywhere else on Earth. These facts are just a glimpse into Lithuania's spellbinding soul, a land where legends breathe through the forests, faith grows on hills of crosses, and mystery hides beneath the water's surface. Every corner of this country challenges what you think you know about Europe. So tell me which secret left you speechless. If this journey amazed you, make sure to subscribe because I'm diving deeper into other nations' most mysterious corners. The next episodes will completely reshape how you see these nations. Which Lithuanian tradition would you dare to experience? Sitting in the cursed corner at dinner, kissing fallen bread, or floating over Vilnius in a hot air balloon? Thank you for joining me on this journey. The Generous Marriage Incentive Program. Marry a Hungarian woman and receive $63,000. This is completely real. The Hungarian government has introduced one of the most generous family support programs in Europe to promote marriage and raise the birth rate. The benefits include cash rewards, lifetime tax breaks, and even a family car. Newly married couples can get an interest-free loan of $27,100 simply by committing to have children. If they have 1 child, the repayment is delayed. If they have 3 children, the loan is completely canceled. Women under 40 who are marrying for the first time can also receive an additional $36,000 interest-free. All they need to do is have 3 children within the set time period, and the debt disappears. Families with 3 or more children can receive a free 7-seater car from the government through the family car program. The most impressive part is that Hungarian mothers with 4 or more children are granted a lifetime exemption from paying income tax. This might be the only policy in the world that truly makes having children a long-term financial advantage. Hungarian women, often called the muses of Eastern Europe. These women blend classic beauty with a natural grace. Their deep amber eyes, finely shaped noses, fair skin, and dark or deep brown hair create a striking mix of Austrian, Turkish, and Slavic traits that make them unmistakably unique. And most can speak at least 2 foreign languages, usually English and German. Walk through Budapest and you will see women stepping off the metro in long dresses, wool coats, and high heels. Curious about how to make friends, start conversations, or even date one of these smart, beautiful Hungarian women? Type number 1 below. We'll share the most fun and effective tips. The Pig Beauty Contest. The Pig Beauty Pageant is a yearly traditional and humorous festival held to celebrate farming and bring joy to the community. It takes place every year in late March or early April in the village of Hajmas, located in southwestern Hungary. The event is organized with care and formality, following the style of major human beauty contests. The contestants are female pigs from local farms, chosen carefully for the show. Before the competition, each pig is washed and groomed to look its best. Some are decorated with ribbons or small floral wreaths, During the event, owners lead or carry their pigs along a red carpet, giving the judges a chance to admire their posture and personality. The judging panel, made up of skilled farmers, scores the pigs based on features like size, weight, cleanliness, and the shine of their skin and coat. A bright pink snout is often praised as a sign of beauty. The pig that best meets all the standards of being plump, healthy, attractive, and elegant earns the title of Pig Beauty Queen. The winner receives a cabbage crown and plenty of edible treats. More than just a source of fun, the event serves as a warm tribute to Hungarian farming and rural traditions. Did you know that the way people name themselves in Hungary is quite unique? Before we continue, don't forget to hit the notification bell, share this with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. The unique naming culture of the Hungarians. For Hungarians, a name is much more than an ID. It is a marker of a language, culture, and social order. From how names are arranged to the rules for naming children and the customs around a new name after marriage, everything follows careful, meaningful guidelines grounded in their identity. To start, one detail that often surprises visitors is the order of Hungarian names compared with much of the Western world. In places like the United States or Western Europe, people usually say the given name before the family name. But Hungarians reverse this. The family name comes first and the given name follows. This makes Hungary one of the few European countries whose pattern is closer to Vietnam, China, and Japan. Another notable feature is that choosing a child's name in Hungary is not only up to the parents but also guided by the state. Working through the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, the government keeps an official list of approved names separated by gender. If parents want a name that is not on the list, they must file a request for review and permission. The goal is to protect the Hungarian language, keep naming consistent, and avoid names that sound awkward, improper, or hard to pronounce in Hungarian. It shows deep respect for the national tongue. A further distinctive custom is the change to a woman's name after marriage. By long tradition, a wife may take her husband's name with the suffix "ne", meaning wife of. Modern practice offers more choice, and many women keep a maiden name, use a combined form, or adopt only the husband's surname. Yet the traditional style still appears often in formal settings and records. This practice highlights the value placed on family identity and respect, where a name reflects both the person and the ties of kin. In sum, the Hungarian naming system is a cultural code that carries history and identity. These firm rules add to the nation's unique character, giving Hungary a classical yet singular presence at the center of Europe. A unique wedding tradition. If you imagine European weddings as always formal and traditional, a Hungarian wedding will surprise you right away, because here the bride might actually be kidnapped during the celebration. This is part of an old folk custom where the bride is hidden, and the groom must complete playful tasks such as singing, dancing, or getting guests to raise a toast before he can find her. A Hungarian wedding is far more than a ceremony. It is a cheerful, energetic, and noisy festival that can go on for up to 3 days. The bride usually wears a handmade embroidered gown that can weigh between 15 and 20 pounds, along with a headscarf representing adulthood. The groom, on the other hand, often struggles to keep his balance after enjoying a few glasses of the traditional drink called palinka. Rather than having a tall wedding cake, like in American weddings, Hungarian celebrations offer a wide variety of homemade pastries prepared by mothers and grandmothers for days beforehand. With lively folk music, endless wine, and dancing that lasts until morning, Hungarian weddings stand out as some of the most joyful and unforgettable festivities in the world. Would you dare to kidnap the bride and take her home? Comment yes if you're bold enough, or no if you'd rather play it safe. The amphibious bus adventure. Welcome to River Ride in Budapest, where you could be riding a bus one moment and floating on a river the next. It is known as one of the most unique sightseeing buses in the world. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary double-decker tour bus with soft seats, a tour guide, and scenic routes passing landmarks such as the Parliament Building, Buda Castle, and Andrassy Avenue. But here comes the surprise when it reaches the Danube River. The driver speeds up and drives straight into the water, to the delighted cheers of amazed tourists. This is not a visual trick. The River Ride is one of the few amphibious vehicles in Europe, built with NATO-grade anti-sink technology. Passengers don't need to change vehicles. They simply fasten their seatbelts and continue their journey floating along the calm waters of the Danube. There's more. River Ride only operates when water conditions are completely safe, making it a rare and special experience. Many American visitors call it the only bus they have ever seen that can swim. If you ever get the chance, this shape-shifting ride is one adventure worth taking. The Paternoster Elevator Experience. One of the most unusual things you might encounter almost every day in Hungary is the Paternoster Elevator, a constantly moving lift without doors or buttons, where you must carefully time your step to get in or out while it is still in motion. Although this type of elevator is rare in most parts of the world, in Hungary, especially in older buildings across Budapest and other large cities, it has long been a familiar part of everyday life, unlike modern elevators with control panels and automatic doors. The Paternoster works as a chain of small cabins that move continuously in a loop. This creates a smooth, old-fashioned ride that requires quick reflexes and precise timing. Miss your chance to step in, and you simply wait for the next cabin to come around. For most Hungarians, using it feels completely natural, just another simple task in their daily routine. The beer clinking taboo. In Hungary, you never ever clink beer glasses together. It's not just considered rude, it's a cultural taboo that runs so deep. Locals will give you genuinely uncomfortable looks if you raise a beer glass and shout, "Cheers," with a loud clink. This small gesture has a painful history behind it. In 1849, after the Austrian army executed 13 Hungarian generals, the Austrian officers celebrated their victory by clinking beer glasses. In response, Hungarians vowed never to make that gesture for 150 years. Although that vow officially ended in 1999, many people still honor it today as a sign of respect and national pride. Interestingly, clinking is acceptable when drinking wine or palinka, a traditional plum spirit, but never with beer. Even in modern bars, staff might gently remind tourists who forget this custom. So, when you are in Hungary, remember to raise your glass, smile, and sip, just don't clink. Keep the tradition or break the rule. What would you do when drinking beer in Hungary? Comment below and share your thoughts. The Children's Railway. In the Buda Hills, just 30 minutes from downtown Budapest, there's a railway that operates like something out of a children's fantasy novel. The ticket sellers, conductors, announcers, and even traffic controllers are all kids. This is the Gyermekvasút, or Children's Railway, and it's a fully functional train line that welcomes tourists daily. This isn't a theme park attraction or a pretend railway. It's a real transportation system over 7 miles long, running on a regular schedule with actual passengers. The remarkable twist is that all operational roles except for the engineers are filled by school children under close adult supervision. These kids participate about once every 2 weeks, but only if they maintain good grades in school. Many of them see this responsibility as a tremendous point of pride. Their first real job where they learn responsibility, teamwork, and customer service while sporting adorable blue uniforms and bright red caps. The Budapest Children's Railway is the only one of its kind still active in Europe. A leftover from the Soviet era that has been transformed into a unique educational symbol and vibrant piece of community culture. It represents the Hungarian approach to education, where children learn through real responsibility rather than just theoretical study. Watching these young conductors professionally check tickets, make announcements, and coordinate train operations is both charming and impressive. They take their roles seriously, and passengers often comment on how polite and competent these child workers are compared to adult staff in other transportation systems. The sacred number 96. Budapest may be one of Europe's most stunning capitals, but you won't find a single skyscraper anywhere in the city. The reason is a sacred number that controls the entire urban landscape 96. This isn't just an architectural preference or city planning guideline. It's an unspoken but strictly enforced rule that no building in Budapest can exceed 96 meters in height. This number marks the year 896 when the ancient Magyar tribes settled the land, considered the official birth year of Hungary as a nation. Two of Hungary's most important national landmarks, the Hungarian Parliament Building and St. Stephen's Basilica, are both exactly 96 meters tall, and this height represents the legal maximum for any structure in the city. when a real estate development firm once proposed building a giant 20-meter financial tower. The project was permanently rejected specifically because it would violate this sacred height limit. But the obsession with 96 doesn't end with architecture. The Hungarian national anthem is traditionally performed in exactly 96 seconds. You'll find 96 steps in historic plazas, 96 pillars in old assembly halls, and countless other subtle references to this number throughout Hungarian culture and architecture. It's a constant, subtle reminder of national roots and identity that most visitors never notice, but that shapes the entire visual character of Budapest. While other European capitals race to build taller and more modern structures, Budapest has chosen to preserve a skyline that honors its founding moment over 1,000 years ago. The upside-down houses of Hungary. One of Hungary's most bizarre and unbelievable architectural attractions is something that will make you question the laws of physics: completely upside-down houses. These aren't optical illusions or art installations. These are actual structures built completely opposite from traditional homes, with the roof on the bottom and what should be the basement on top. It may sound absolutely absurd, but these upside-down houses represent a bold symbol of Hungarian architectural creativity and the country's willingness to embrace the unconventional. These structures grab attention not only because they look impossible, but also because of the playful, humorous spirit they embody. They represent the experimental and unconventional mindset that Hungarian architects and designers bring to their work. The most famous example features everything inside flipped as well: the furniture, decorations, kitchen appliances. Even the toilets are all installed upside down, creating a completely disorienting but unforgettable experience for visitors. Walking through these houses requires you to completely rewire your brain's understanding of how interior spaces should function. What makes this even more remarkable is that these aren't just tourist gimmicks. They represent a serious architectural philosophy about challenging assumptions and creating spaces that force people to see the world from a completely different perspective. Visitors often report that spending time in an upside-down house changes how they think about conventional architecture and design for weeks afterward. These houses have become popular attractions for tourists seeking unique photo opportunities, but they also serve as a deeper commentary on Hungarian creativity and the country's willingness to turn conventional wisdom literally upside down. The birthplace of a global craze, the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube, one of the world's most famous inventions and a symbol of intelligence and creativity worldwide, was created right here in Hungary. Invented in 1974 by Hungarian professor Erno Rubik, this seemingly simple puzzle quickly became a global sensation that has driven millions of people around the world to take on its intellectual challenge. Originally, Rubik created the cube as a teaching tool to help his students understand three-dimensional geometry and spatial relationships. He had no idea he was creating what would become one of the best-selling toys in history. Today, more than 350 million Rubik's Cubes have been sold worldwide, making it one of the most successful puzzle games ever created. What started as an educational tool has grown into a cultural phenomenon, beloved by all ages and backgrounds. The Rubik's Cube has become a symbol of genius and innovation, representing the kind of creative problem-solving that Hungary is known for. The cube has evolved far beyond just being a toy. International competitions now draw elite speedcubers who can solve the puzzle in under 5 seconds, leaving audiences completely amazed by the combination of mental agility and finger dexterity required to achieve such incredible times. With its record-breaking success and lasting popularity spanning over 50 years, the Rubik's Cube remains an irreplaceable icon of Hungarian innovation, and a perfect example of how a simple idea from a Hungarian professor can capture the imagination of the entire world. Budapest's dual personality and nightlife. Not many people realize that Budapest, one of Europe's most charming capitals, used to be two completely separate cities, Buda and Pest, divided by the deep blue Danube River. This historical division still defines the city's character today in fascinating ways. Buda, on the west side of the river, remains historic and calm, home to Buda Castle, Gellert Hill, and cobblestone streets that look exactly like they did in the Middle Ages. It's where you go for history, architecture, and peaceful walks through ancient neighborhoods. Pest, on the east side, is younger, livelier, and serves as the financial, artistic, and nightlife heart of the modern city. When the sun sets, Budapest transforms into a completely different world, revealing a uniquely Hungarian approach to nightlife that's unlike anywhere else in Europe. After 9 p.m., the city flips a switch. Ruin pubs, bars created from old Soviet-era buildings, light up throughout District 7. These aren't your typical bars. They're architectural adventures where you might find an American DJ spinning electronic beats, while a French bartender mixes cocktails and a group of Hungarian intellectuals debates philosophy over shots of palinka. You'll hear jazz, techno, and folk fusion echoing from ruins that were once abandoned buildings. Streets like Kazinci and the Gozdu courtyard stay alive all night, with trams running until morning. Hungarian women confidently sip red wine alone and strike up conversations with visitors, displaying a calm confidence and gentle directness that's distinctly Hungarian. Many locals will share a fascinating secret. Numerous old houses in Pest still contain underground shelters from World War II, with tunnels connecting to neighboring buildings. Some of these spaces have been converted into unique underground bars and clubs, creating a nightlife scene that literally has hidden depths. The world's most beautiful historic cafes. One of the things that amazes tourists most about Hungary isn't the majestic Danube River or the postcard-perfect bridges. It's Hungary's unique and elegant coffee culture that operates by completely different rules than anywhere else in the world. In 2022, Budapest was ranked among the world's top 10 cities with the most distinctive cafe culture. And once you understand why, you'll see this ranking is completely deserved. Hungary has created its own coffee universe, where cafes are far more than just places to drink coffee. They've served as social, philosophical, artistic, and political hubs for centuries. And here's the twist that will blow your mind nowhere else in the world. Do people drink coffee this slowly and deliberately? In Hungary, people don't just sip coffee, they live in cafes. Each establishment has its own history, character, and regular clientele. Some cafes have special tables reserved just for novelists working on their next book, or for elderly artists who gaze out the same window every morning while contemplating their next masterpiece. Budapest alone has over 500 cafes just in the downtown area. Many of these date back to the 19th century and are decorated with golden ceilings, crystal chandeliers, marble tables, and feature live classical music performances. Café Gerbeau and the New York Cafe are often called the most beautiful cafes in the entire world. Places where you can slow down and immerse yourself in an atmosphere that feels like a spiritual experience. American tourists are consistently surprised by one thing. How can Hungarians sit for 3 or 4 hours with just one cup of coffee? The answer reveals something profound about Hungarian culture. For Hungarians, coffee isn't just a beverage or a caffeine delivery system. It's a way of life, a social institution, and a form of meditation all rolled into one. These cafes serve as places to discuss love, music, politics, philosophy, or simply to sit alone and feel time passing at a more human pace. The conversations that happen in Hungarian cafes are deeper, more thoughtful, and more meaningful than what you'll find in the grab-and-go coffee culture of most other countries. This is why many visitors come to Hungary once and never want to leave. It's not just the scenery or the famous thermal baths. It's the experience of drinking a single cup of coffee in a quiet, beautiful space where time slows down and your soul feels truly alive. The national cuisine obsession. While some countries pride themselves on delicate, refined cuisine, Hungary goes for bold, hearty, and proudly flavorful food that will challenge everything you think you know about European cooking. Did you know that crispy pork fat melted onto bread is basically considered a national treasure? This delicacy, known as konyar szalonaval, isn't your average snack. It's a rustic barbecue ritual where pork fat is grilled over an open fire, and its golden drippings sizzle onto fresh bread like precious oil. This might sound unusual to American palates, but in Hungary, it represents the essence of traditional comfort food. The ritual of preparing and sharing konyar szalonaval brings families and friends together around the fire, creating memories and maintaining connections to agricultural traditions that go back centuries. No conversation about Hungarian food is complete without discussing goulash, though most people outside Hungary have never tasted the real thing. Authentic Hungarian goulash isn't quite soup and isn't quite stew, but it's an iconic national dish that's paprika-packed and soul-warming. Paprika isn't just a spice in Hungary, it's practically a religion, with an actual museum dedicated to this beloved red powder that defines Hungarian cuisine. But the culinary adventures don't stop there. Hungary offers sausages made from horse meat, which might sound shocking, but represent centuries of nomadic Magyar traditions. There's langos, a deep-fried flatbread loaded with cheese, garlic, and sour cream that's sold at markets and festivals throughout the country. For dessert, try the Dobos torta, a 5-layer, 20-ingredient masterpiece cake that was once the pride of Old Budapest's finest confectionaries. This isn't just a cake. It's an architectural achievement in sugar, butter, and chocolate that requires genuine skill to create properly. And if you're interested in wine, Hungary produces Tokaji, known as the king of wines. This sweet dessert wine was so highly regarded that Napoleon kept bottles in his private cellar, and it was considered one of the finest wines in all of Europe for centuries. Hungarian cuisine represents the country's approach to life: bold, unapologetic, deeply rooted in tradition, and designed to bring people together around shared experiences that create lasting memories. These 15 facts reveal why Hungary is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Hungary operates by its own unique logic that blends ancient traditions with modern innovation in ways that seem almost magical. What makes these facts even more remarkable is that they're not just tourist curiosities or historical artifacts. They're living, breathing parts of Hungarian culture that locals experience every single day. Hungary proves that in our increasingly globalized world, it's still possible for a country to maintain its distinctive character, preserve its traditions, and create policies and customs that reflect its own values rather than simply copying what everyone else is doing. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Have you ever experienced anything similar in your own country or travels? Let me know in the comments below which Hungarian tradition you'd most like to experience yourself. And if you're planning a trip to Hungary after watching this video, tell me which of these unique attractions you're most excited to see in person. If you enjoyed discovering these incredible facts about countries around the world, make sure you're subscribed, because next week I'm revealing 15 equally mind-blowing facts about another country that will completely change how you see that nation too. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Hungary's most fascinating secrets. Until next time, keep exploring the world's most amazing hidden truths. Did you know that in one small European country with just 10 million people, you might accidentally bump into an adult film star while buying groceries? Or that people there keep live fish in their bathtubs before Christmas dinner? The Czech Republic holds secrets that will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about this mysterious Central European nation. Adult film industry. The Czech Republic, with a population of just 5 million people, which is less than 1% of the world's population, is home to 13% of the global adult film industry. Along with Hungary, the Czech Republic is one of the largest producers of adult films in Europe. This means that while you're walking around the beautiful streets of Prague, admiring the architecture and enjoying the culture, you might unknowingly pass by someone who is a well-known star in the adult film industry. The question that is how and why the Czech Republic chose to grow in this industry despite its small population. When you talk to local Czechs about this topic, they primarily attribute it to the pursuit of easy money. Czech women enter this industry by their own choice, without any coercion, purely for quick and easy financial gain. Despite offering a relatively high quality of life compared to many countries, this industry has become surprisingly normalized. However, these topics are rarely discussed publicly in the Czech Republic. Many tourists visiting the country are completely unaware that it's one of the top producers in this sector globally. Czech stars are not only prominent within Europe, but are also exported to other active regions in this sector, such as the United States. Czech Christmas traditions. Forget everything you know about Christmas dinner. While most of the world is preparing turkey or ham, Czech families are doing something that would shock most visitors. The centerpiece of traditional Czech Christmas Eve dinner is fried carp served with potato salad. A few days before Christmas, Czech families buy a live carp and keep it temporarily in their bathtub or a large container of water at home. You heard that correctly? Live fish swimming in the family bathtub. This isn't just a quirky tradition. There's a practical purpose. The practice is believed to purify the fish, ensuring it's as fresh and clean as possible before being prepared for the family feast. After the meal, many families save one fish scale and place it inside their wallet. This simple gesture is said to bring good luck, prosperity, and financial abundance throughout the coming year. Imagine explaining to foreign guests why there's a fish swimming in your bathroom. But for Czech families, this is as normal as decorating a Christmas tree. If this story surprises you, don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like to show your support. Your engagement helps us keep creating more captivating stories and uncovering the world's hidden wonders. Beautiful women and a unique dating culture. Czech women are renowned worldwide for their natural beauty. With striking blue or gray eyes, silky golden hair, and an elegant simplicity that's impossible to ignore. The interesting thing about Czech dating culture is that women are often the ones taking charge. They initiate conversations, make decisions, and aren't afraid to be proactive in relationships. This isn't just modern feminism. This is deeply rooted in Czech culture. Czech women will approach men they're interested in, plan dates, and take the lead in ways that would surprise people from more traditional cultures. Yet men are still expected to bring flowers on first dates and maintain old-fashioned romance. It's this unique blend of modern assertiveness and traditional charm that makes Czech dating culture so distinct. The laid-back approach reflects the Czech attitude toward life. Relaxed, straightforward, and without unnecessary drama. Relationships here are built on mutual respect and understanding, often resulting in deep, meaningful connections that last. Would you let a Czech woman pick up the check on your first date? Let us know in the comments below. Czech wedding traditions. Czech wedding traditions are unlike anything you've seen before. And they involve two rituals that sound almost dangerous, but are actually beautiful symbols of unity. The first tradition is called breaking the dishes. Right before the main celebration, a bowl or plate is deliberately shattered in front of the bride and groom. This isn't an accident or bad luck. It's actually meant to drive away evil spirits and bring good fortune. But here's the test. The bride and groom must work together to clean up every single shard. If they do it efficiently and cooperatively, it's considered a perfect sign for their future marriage. This ritual symbolizes that they're ready to face life's challenges together and can handle problems as a team. The second tradition is even more unique. It's called the linen wrapping, where a large piece of linen or wide napkin is draped across both the bride and groom's shoulders, physically connecting them. This isn't just symbolic. It represents the community welcoming the bride into her new family and social circle. Both traditions highlight that Czech marriage isn't just about love. It's about partnership, cooperation, and belonging within the broader community. Marriage Week rekindling romance. Every February, the Czech Republic celebrates something called National Marriage Week, a unique tradition focusing on love and commitment that goes far beyond Valentine's Day. This week brings couples of all ages together for practice weddings, renewal of vows, and some young couples even have a second wedding just for fun. One of the key highlights is the Bridge of Love in a town called Sedlčany. Couples lock their love by attaching a padlock to the bridge and tossing the key into the river below, much like the famous Pont des Arts in Paris. This symbolizes eternal love, and it's a beautiful tradition to witness. Here's why this tradition is so important. With a staggering divorce rate nearing 50%. National Marriage Week serves as a gentle reminder for couples to reconnect and remember why they fell in love in the first place. During this week, activities and events are organized across the country to encourage couples to spend quality time together. We're talking about candlelit dinners, couples games, and workshops specifically designed to strengthen relationships. National Marriage Week isn't just about celebrating love. It's about taking the time to nurture relationships in meaningful ways, providing an opportunity to rekindle romance, and remind couples of the importance of commitment in a world where relationships are increasingly fragile. The curious case of the toilet museum. When you think of museums, you probably picture art galleries, historical artifacts, or scientific exhibits. But in Prague, there's something uniquely odd yet fascinating that attracts thousands of visitors every year: the Historic Toilet Museum. This museum hosts around 1,800 different artifacts, toilets, and chamber pots of various designs and sizes from throughout history. We're talking about gold-plated chamber pots, toilets that belonged to Napoleon Bonaparte and Abraham Lincoln, and even replicas of those used on the legendary Titanic. The museum offers a humorous glimpse into history through the lens of something everyone uses but rarely talks about. Imagine the stories these artifacts could tell. You're literally looking at chamber pots that have been used by emperors and US presidents. It's a fun thought that makes history a little more relatable and definitely more memorable. Beyond just toilets, the museum provides fascinating insights into hygiene and how it has evolved over centuries. The items on display tell a story about culture, health practices, and social attitudes across different periods of time. It's quirky, educational, and full of surprises. For those who enjoy history with a humorous twist, this museum proves that even the most mundane aspects of human life have fascinating stories to tell. If you ever get the chance to visit Prague, would you check out this quirky museum? Type number 1 if this museum is definitely on your must-visit list. Festivals and traditions. The Czech Republic has some of the most unique festivals and traditions that sound absolutely bizarre to outsiders, but make perfect sense within the cultural context. The Witch-burning festival is held on the last night of April. April 30th, known as Witch Night. People create straw dolls representing witches and throw them into large bonfires to burn. Meanwhile, everyone dresses up, dances, and sings around the fire, creating an incredibly lively festival atmosphere that looks like something out of a medieval movie. According to Czech folklore, April 30th marks the peak of evil forces after the long, cold, and dark winter. Burning witches isn't just a fun activity, it's a cleansing act and a way to ward off evil spirits, bringing peace to the community. The festival also marks the welcome of a new season, symbolizing hope for positive changes in life. But wait, it gets even more interesting during Easter. Unlike most countries worldwide, during Easter, Czech women actually expect and ask to be lightly tapped by their men with willow branches while the men sing to them. The women literally request their husbands to do this. This act symbolizes love and a hopeful start for family growth, especially for couples wishing to have children. Additionally, on May 1st, couples engage in a special ritual where they express their love under a cherry tree before heading to a pub. At the pub, looking directly into each other's eyes while toasting is considered crucial, symbolizing bonding and sincerity in the relationship. Czech beer culture. Beer culture in the Czech Republic isn't just about drinking, it's practically a national religion. The Czechs proudly hold the world record for the highest beer consumption per capita, making this beverage an essential part of everyday life. In many traditional pubs, a glass of beer can actually cost less than bottled water, which tells you everything you need to know about priorities here. What most tourists don't know: this deep passion for beer comes with strict toasting rituals that you absolutely must follow, or you'll be considered incredibly rude. When raising your glass and saying cheers, it is mandatory to make direct eye contact with your companions, and you must never cross arms while clinking glasses. Breaking these rules is considered impolite or even a sign of bad luck. These aren't just suggestions. They're serious cultural rules that reflect the Czech people's profound respect for sincerity and courtesy in relationships. A Czech pub is more than just a place to drink. It's a social hub where people meet, share conversations, and appreciate the artistry of perfectly poured beer. The beer culture here is so sophisticated that there are specific techniques for pouring beer, different types of foam, and even specific glassware for different beer styles. It's an art form that has been perfected over centuries. The cursed astronomical clock. Standing proudly in the heart of Prague is the world-famous astronomical clock, over 6 centuries old. This isn't just any timepiece. It's one of the oldest functioning astronomical clocks in the world, with intricate mechanisms that track the movements of the sun, moon, and even zodiac signs. But what makes this clock truly extraordinary isn't just its age or complexity, it's the dark legend that surrounds it. Local legends tell of a powerful curse attached to this magnificent timepiece. It's said that if the clock ever stops working, disaster will fall upon the entire city of Prague. This isn't just a tourist story. Many locals genuinely believe in this curse, and it's part of what draws millions of visitors to Prague's Old Town Square every year. The statues that flank the clock face tell their own story, representing vanity, greed, death, and lust. These figures add to the clock's mystique, reminding us of humanity's timeless struggles and the consequences of our actions. Every hour, the clock comes alive with the walk of the apostles, when all 12 apostles appear in procession through the clock's windows, creating a spectacle that has mesmerized people for generations. Beyond the myth and mystery, the astronomical clock represents a feat of medieval engineering and artistic achievement that still functions perfectly today. The fact that this complex mechanism has survived wars, revolutions, and centuries of weather while maintaining its precision is nothing short of miraculous. One of the world's safest countries. Despite all the unusual traditions and mysterious legends, Czech Republic ranks as one of the safest countries in the world. Whether you're walking through Prague's bustling streets at midnight or enjoying the serenity of small countryside towns, safety is hardly a concern for visitors. The Global Peace Index regularly lists the Czech Republic among the safest places to live and visit. The low crime rate and stable economy make it an incredibly attractive destination for tourists and expatriates alike. Prague, with its cobblestone streets and historic charm, manages to be both stunningly beautiful and remarkably secure. This sense of security is reflected in the daily lives of the people who enjoy outdoor cafes, late-night strolls, and community events without any fear. You'll see children playing in parks unsupervised, elderly people walking alone at night, and tourists exploring with complete peace of mind. For travelers, this means you can focus entirely on enjoying the sights, sounds, and flavors of the country rather than constantly worrying about safety concerns. Whether you're a solo traveler, a couple, or a family, the Czech Republic offers peace of mind that makes your visit even more enjoyable and allows you to truly immerse yourself in the culture. Sports, the heartbeat of Czechia. Sports are a major passion in the Czech Republic. And when I say major, I mean it's practically a national obsession. Whether it's soccer, tennis, or ice hockey, Czechs live and breathe athletics in a way that brings the entire country together. Soccer teams like SK Slavia Prague dominate the national sports scene, but ice hockey is undoubtedly the pride of the country. Legends like Jaromír Jágr, one of the NHL's greatest players of all time, are considered national heroes. When the Czech national hockey team plays, the entire country stops to watch. Winter sports are also a huge part of Czech culture, especially with talented athletes like Ester Ledecká, who made history by winning gold medals in both skiing and snowboarding at the same Olympics. This achievement was so remarkable that it shocked the entire sporting world and made her a household name globally. The love for winter sports is evident throughout the country's numerous ski resorts. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, Czech ski areas such as Spindlerov Mlyn and Pakpad Sněžku offer excellent facilities and breathtakingly beautiful winter landscapes that rival the famous alpine resorts. From soccer fields to ski slopes, sports unite this small nation in ways that create a spirited community celebrating victories together. Even those who don't actively participate in sports are avid spectators, often gathering in local pubs to cheer on their favorite teams, creating an atmosphere of camaraderie that's infectious. Prague Castle, a fairy tale come to life. Prague Castle isn't just a tourist attraction. It's the largest castle complex in the world and a magical place that literally brings fairy tales to life. When you enter the castle grounds, you feel like you're stepping into a storybook, with majestic courtyards, intricate Gothic architecture, and centuries-old stories around every corner. St. Vitus Cathedral, located within the castle complex, is an architectural marvel with breathtaking stained glass windows that have witnessed many significant moments in Czech history, including royal coronations. The cathedral showcases soaring spires, intricate sculptures, and beautiful mosaics that tell the stories of the country's rich and often turbulent past. Golden Lane is another must-see attraction, a narrow street lined with colorful houses that showcase the humble lives of medieval artisans. These small houses were once inhabited by goldsmiths, blacksmiths, and even a famous fortune teller. Today, they host exhibitions that bring medieval history to life in ways that textbooks never could. If you're feeling adventurous, you can take the underground vault tour to discover hidden treasures and eerie tales that reside beneath the castle walls. These vaults tell a darker side of history, filled with tales of imprisonment, torture, and mystery that will give you chills and make you appreciate how much the world has changed. The castle complex is so vast that you could spend an entire day exploring and still not see everything. It's a living piece of history that continues to function as the official residence of the Czech president while serving as a window into centuries of European culture and politics. Music everywhere. Music is such a fundamental part of Czech culture that it's almost impossible to wander through Prague without hearing live performances. Whether it's talented street performers, entertaining passersby with classical pieces, or jazz floating out of intimate clubs. The Czech people love music, and they love to share it with the world. The musical landscape here is incredibly diverse. You could easily start your evening with a symphony performance in one of Prague's historic concert halls and end up dancing to electronic beats in an underground club until dawn. This isn't unusual. It's just a typical night out in Prague. The love of music runs deep in Czech culture. It's more than just an entertainment. It's a lifestyle and a form of expression that connects people across generations. Prague is home to several internationally renowned music festivals, like the Prague Spring International Music Festival, which brings together the world's best classical musicians for weeks of performances across the city. What makes the Czech music scene truly special is its accessibility. Whether you enjoy rock, jazz, electronic, or classical music, it's always easy to find a performance that fits your taste. Music fills the air in Prague and touches every corner of the country, creating an atmosphere that's vibrant, dynamic, and constantly evolving. Street musicians aren't just tolerated here, they're celebrated as part of the cultural fabric. Many of these performers are incredibly talented artists who choose to share their music directly with people rather than confining themselves to concert halls. Bohemian Crystal Paradise. The Czech Republic's Bohemian crystal products are world-renowned. And there's a fascinating reason why. Glassmaking has been a cherished tradition in Bohemia for over 800 years, with artisans producing some of the finest crystal pieces imaginable. This isn't mass production. This is true artistry passed down through generations. The techniques used to create these masterpieces are still passed down from generation to generation. Even in today's technologically advanced world, Bohemian crystal production retains its artistry through traditional glass-blowing techniques and meticulous decoration by skilled craftsmen who have dedicated their entire lives to perfecting their craft. A visit to a crystal factory, such as those in Karlovy Vary, allows you to witness firsthand how these intricate pieces are crafted. You'll watch master artisans at work, blowing glass at temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius, and cutting intricate designs with precision that seems almost impossible. Each piece of Bohemian crystal tells a story of craftsmanship, heritage, and beauty that spans centuries. The crystal chandeliers, wine glasses, and decorative pieces produced here are so highly regarded that they have been used in royal palaces, luxury hotels, and prestigious buildings around the world. When you see Bohemian crystal in international auction houses selling for thousands of dollars, you understand that you're not just looking at glassware, you're looking at functional art. The reputation of Czech crystal is so strong that it has become a symbol of quality and elegance worldwide. Collectors and connoisseurs specifically seek out authentic Bohemian crystal because they know they're getting something truly special. A culinary journey in Czech cuisine. Czech cuisine is a treat for the senses and a perfect reflection of Central Europe's rich culinary traditions. The food here is hearty, flavorful, and designed to satisfy both body and soul. Let's start with svíčková, a dish featuring braised beef in creamy vegetable sauce served with bread dumplings. The blend of spices and the sauce's rich texture creates a dining experience that's both comforting and sophisticated. This dish is often served with cranberries and whipped cream, providing a slightly sweet element that perfectly complements the savory flavors. It might sound unusual to combine sweet and savory elements, but the result is absolutely delicious and represents the Czech approach to balancing flavors. Another classic that you absolutely must try is vepřo knedlo zelo, crispy roast pork paired with steamed bread dumplings and tangy sauerkraut. This combination might seem simple, but the execution requires skill and the flavors work together in perfect harmony. And then there's the famous trdelník, a sweet cinnamon sugar-coated pastry that you'll find on almost every street corner in Prague. This spiral pastry is often filled with ice cream, Nutella, or fresh fruit, making it a favorite among tourists and locals alike. The smell of trdelník being prepared is absolutely irresistible and will draw you in from blocks away. Of course, we can't talk about Czech cuisine without mentioning Czech beer, often considered the best in the world. The Czech Republic has the highest beer consumption per capita globally, and once you taste authentic Czech beer, you'll understand why. The brewing techniques, the quality of ingredients, and the cultural significance of beer create an experience that goes far beyond just drinking. Whether you're sipping a perfectly poured pilsner in a traditional pub or touring one of the country's many historic breweries. You'll quickly learn why Czech beer has such an incredible reputation. It's not just about the drink itself, it's about the culture of sharing a pint with friends, engaging in meaningful conversations, and enjoying life's simple pleasures. So there you have it, 15 absolutely mind-blowing facts about the Czech Republic that prove this small Central European nation is unlike anywhere else on Earth. These facts reveal a country where ancient traditions blend seamlessly with modern realities, where beauty and quirkiness coexist, and where every corner holds a story that challenges your expectations. The Czech Republic isn't just a tourist destination. It's a cultural experience that will change how you think about Europe and the world. If you found these facts as shocking and fascinating as I did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible discoveries about countries and cultures that will blow your mind. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore more hidden secrets from around the world that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Belgium, the shining heart of Europe. Belgium is not just a beautiful European country. Its chocolate is world famous, but there is much more to discover. In fact, this country is known for being quite expensive to live in. The official name of the nation is the Kingdom of Belgium, and it has a population of about 7 million people. With this number, Belgium ranks 82nd in the world by population size. If you live in Belgium and drive a car, you may find driving in other countries quite difficult later on. The reason is that Belgium is the only country in the world where drivers do not need to turn on their headlights at night, because the streets are already brightly lit with large lights everywhere. The people of Belgium are known for having two main hobbies. They love exploring different kinds of food, and they also enjoy reading books with great passion. Interestingly, Belgium is the world's leading seller of chocolate, exporting around $3 billion worth each year. In addition, the country is also famous for being the diamond capital of the world. During the time of the Roman Empire, Belgium was the name of a province. Today, Brussels is the capital and the largest city of the country, while Antwerp stands as the second largest. Moreover, Belgium is often called the capital of the European Union because the main offices of the European Union are located there. The world's strangest national symbol. Every country has national symbols, but Belgium's might be the most unusual in the world. In the heart of Brussels stands a tiny statue, less than 2 feet tall, that has captured hearts for over 400 years. Meet mannequin piss, a little bronze boy caught in the act of urinating into a fountain. But here's where it gets really interesting. This little guy doesn't just stand there naked all the time. He has an extensive wardrobe of over 1,000 official costumes. On the 4th of July, he dresses up like an American cowboy complete with hat and boots. On Bastille Day, he becomes an 18th century French soldier. There's even a NASA astronaut costume for special space-related celebrations. Each outfit is meticulously crafted and preserved at the Garderobe Museum, which is essentially a national wardrobe for a 2-foot statue. The costume changes happen regularly throughout the year, turning this tiny fountain into a constantly evolving piece of performance art. Mannequin piss represents something uniquely Belgian. It's the spirit of a people who aren't afraid to laugh at themselves, who find joy in the absurd, and who celebrate freedom in the most unexpected ways. Belgian women are Europe's hidden gems. Belgian women have one of the highest education rates in Europe, with 1 in 2 holding a college degree. They're also incredibly multilingual, typically speaking French, Dutch, German, and English fluently. But what's really fascinating is their approach to relationships. Belgium has one of the highest rates of women marrying foreigners in Europe. But this isn't about seeking wealth or status. Belgian women are known for choosing partners based on genuine connection and shared values rather than material considerations. If you're curious about the secret that makes Belgian women fall for foreign men, type number 1 below. Their way of expressing love is uniquely charming. Instead of grand romantic gestures or daily declarations of affection, Belgian women show love through thoughtful details. They'll leave handwritten notes in your chocolate box, slip messages into the book you're reading, or surprise you with perfectly brewed hot chocolate on a cold morning. And a delightful tradition if a Belgian woman invites you for fondue and you accidentally drop your bread in the cheese pot. You owe her a bottle of wine or a kiss. It's called the fondue forfeit, and it's a playful way of keeping dinner interesting. Mail carrier cats of service. Ahead of its time. This sounds like something from a fantasy novel, but it's completely real. In 1879, a city in eastern Belgium conducted one of the most unusual experiments in postal history. They tried using cats to deliver mail. 37 cats were selected for this ambitious project. Each cat was fitted with a small cloth bag containing handwritten letters and sent out to rural areas between 20 to 50 kilometers from Liege. The results were surprisingly impressive. 11 cats successfully made it back to the city within 5 to 24 hours. One particularly speedy feline completed the entire journey in just 5 hours and 30 minutes, which amazed observers across Europe. But not all of them were as dedicated to their postal duties. Some decided to take extended naps along the way. Others got distracted exploring the countryside. A few simply disappeared entirely, taking their letters with them into feline retirement. The experiment was eventually abandoned, but for a brief moment in history, Belgium had the world's first and only cat-powered postal service. If these stories opened your eyes to a new side of Belgium and helped you learn something new, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more fascinating discoveries like this one. Unique New Year traditions. While most of countries celebrates New Year with fireworks and parties, rural Belgium maintains one of the most heartwarming traditions you've never heard of. It's called wishing the animals a happy new year. On New Year's morning, after all the human celebrations are over, Belgian farmers make their first stop of the year to visit their animals. They go to every barn, every stable, every pen, and personally greet each animal. Cows, horses, goats, sheep, dogs, cats. Even chickens get a sincere Happy New Year wish from their human caretakers. Farmers often bringing special treats or extra feed as New Year gifts. The tradition reflects the deep respect Belgians have for their animal companions and their belief that animals are integral family members who deserve to be included in important celebrations. The village with no straight roads. Hidden in the forests of Wallonia lies Durbai, one of the most unique places in Belgium and possibly all of Europe, with an area of just 0.3 square miles. Durbai still holds the official title of a city due to its ancient castle, historic church, an urban charter dating back to the 14th century. But here's what makes Durbai truly special. Every single road in the village winds and curves like a medieval maze. There isn't a single straight stretch of road anywhere. The streets are paved with original cobblestones, each stone telling a piece of history that locals refuse to modernize or replace. The architecture in Durbai represents a unique blend of French mountain wooden buildings and Flemish low-arch stone houses. These structures feature thick walls, ancient wooden doors, and sloping roofs made of gray slate. Many homes are over 300 years old and still inhabited, housing traditional bakeries, artisan shops, and handmade wool stores that create an authentic, uncommercialized atmosphere. The village is overlooked by Durbai Castle, nestled in the surrounding woods and still privately owned, giving the entire area a fairy tale quality. In the village center, you'll find Topiary Park, Europe's largest tree art garden, featuring over 250 sculptures trimmed into dragons, dolphins, and whimsical cartoon characters. Despite its tiny size, Durbai even boasts Michelin-starred restaurants where you can enjoy foie gras and fine wine in a setting that feels like it was lifted directly from a Hans Christian Andersen story. Would you visit this magical place? Comment yes if it's going on your bucket list. Belgium invented the saxophone. If you love jazz, blues, or any music featuring that smooth, soulful sound of the saxophone, you need to thank Belgium. The saxophone wasn't invented in America as many people assume. It was created in 1840 by Adolphe Sax in the small Belgian town of Dinant. Adolphus Sax was a musical genius who wanted to create an instrument that bridged the gap between brass and woodwind instruments. The result was the saxophone, which combines the power of brass with the flexibility of woodwinds. From that moment, this Belgian invention began its journey to conquer the world's music scene. Today, Dinant has embraced its musical heritage in spectacular fashion. The town features a saxophone statue towering over 12 feet tall, a saxophone bridge decorated with over 30 giant, colorful saxophones painted with flags from different countries, and the Adolphe Sax Museum located in the house where the inventor was born. Belgium hosts an international saxophone festival every year, attracting musicians from around the globe. Sleep in an 800-year-old castle. Imagine booking a hotel room and discovering you're actually staying in a genuine medieval castle that's been standing for over 800 years. In Belgium's Wallonia region, this fantasy becomes reality at Château de Petit Somme, a 13th century castle that's fully operational and available for rent through modern booking platforms. This isn't some tourist trap or theme hotel. This is a real castle with 17 bedrooms, a grand ballroom, an ancient stone kitchen, and French gardens overlooking the winding Lesse River surrounded by oak forests. The rental price is approximately $2,800 per night. But when shared among 18 people, it works out to just over $150 per person per night, which is less than a decent hotel room in Paris. The experience is authentically medieval, yet surprisingly comfortable. Dinner is served by candlelight in a 600-year-old dining room, beside a genuine wood-burning fireplace. The most exciting part is the Living Like Nobility program at nearby Château de Petit Somme, where guests learn 18th century European dining etiquette, brew tea using silver pots, sample pastries made from ancient recipes, and write letters with quill pens sealed with wax. But don't worry about being completely cut off from the modern world. The castle offers strong Wi-Fi and stunning views of pristine forest right outside your window. It's essentially a time machine you can book, offering the rare opportunity to live like medieval royalty while maintaining all the conveniences of contemporary life. Horseback shrimp fishing. This sounds so bizarre that you might think I'm making it up, but horseback shrimp fishing is not only real. It's a UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage practice still alive today in the Belgian coastal town of Oostduinkerke. This centuries-old technique dates back to the 15th century and represents one of the world's most unique maritime traditions. Fishermen dress in traditional yellow waterproof coats and high rubber boots, then ride sturdy Brabant draft horses directly into the shallow waters of the North Sea during low tide. The horse pulls a large funnel-shaped net weighted with a heavy chain that scrapes along the sandy seabed. The chain's vibration stirs up the sand, causing gray shrimp to jump up and get trapped in the net. It's a perfect example of human-animal cooperation that has remained virtually unchanged for over 500 years. After 30 to 45 minutes of dragging the net through the water, the fishermen return to shore, sift through their catch, and pour the fresh shrimp into wicker baskets hanging on either side of the horse. The freshly caught shrimp are often boiled right there on the beach and served to visitors and locals alike. Today, Oostduinkerke remains the only place in the entire world where this remarkable tradition continues. It's a living symbol of Belgium's deep respect for the sea and its ancestral heritage, proving that some traditions are too valuable to abandon, even in our modern world. Coffee culture in Belgium. Belgian coffee culture operates on a completely different philosophy than the rest of the world. While most countries treat coffee as fuel for productivity, Belgians have turned it into an art form of slowing down and truly experiencing life. In cities like Bruges, Ghent, and Liège, coffee serves as an excuse to pause, watch the rain, read a book, and observe the world without any pressure to rush or speak. There's even a cafe called Rainy Days Coffee Shop that only opens when it's raining. The owner, an elderly artist, believes that only during rainfall can people be still enough to truly appreciate a perfect cup of coffee. In Ghent, you'll find no Wi-Fi cafes like Espresso Bar, where electronic devices are discouraged. Instead, patrons are encouraged to read, chat with strangers, or simply listen to the gentle clinking of spoons against neighboring cups. It's like stepping back to 1993 before smartphones and social media dominated our attention. Belgians don't drink coffee hurriedly like in American cities. They often sit outside, even in chilly weather, savoring each sip for hours. On weekends, you'll see entire families, from grandparents to small children, gathered at outdoor cafe tables, sharing conversations and small tarts. Here's a delightful surprise: nearly every cup of coffee in Belgium comes with a complimentary praline chocolate as a warm, welcome gesture. Some cafes are set in converted old train cars or nestled within cozy bookstores with soft jazz playing on weekend afternoons. The world's most beautiful Christmas market. If you've ever dreamed of stepping into a real-life Christmas movie, Brussels in December creates exactly that magical atmosphere. In 2022, the Winter Wonders Market defeated over 100 European cities to win the title of Most Beautiful Christmas Market in the World by European Best Destinations, a prestigious honor voted on by over 320,000 international visitors. The market takes place at the Grand Place, a historic square recognized by UNESCO, where 17th century buildings are adorned with thousands of warm golden lights, making visitors feel like they're walking through a living snow globe. The facade of the town hall transforms into a massive light stage where every 30 minutes, a synchronized light dance occurs set to classic Christmas music, all controlled by cutting-edge 3D mapping technology. The market features a massive 180-foot Ferris wheel, the tallest Christmas attraction in Europe, offering breathtaking views of the snow-covered city from above. There's also an ice skating rink in the Old Town, over 200 wooden stalls selling artisanal chocolate, craft beer, wooden toys, and a dedicated children's village where kids can bake cookies and write letters to Santa. Every year, the Christmas tree at Grand Place is gifted by another Belgian town as a cultural unity ritual. The tree comes from Wallonia and is decorated with themes of light and peace, symbolizing Belgium's commitment to harmony and celebration. Even street food has European flair. Belgium transforms simple street food into culinary art forms that rival fine dining experiences. Let's start with waffles, which are far more complex than most people realize. Belgians have two distinct schools. Brussels waffles are square, crispy, and elegant, often served with cream and strawberries like a dessert in a five-star hotel. Liège waffles, in contrast, are round and thick with crunchy caramelized sugar pockets baked directly into the dough, creating a street food so delicious that tourists stop mid-stride when they smell them. Interestingly, Belgians never drizzle syrup on their waffles and typically enjoy them in the afternoon as part of a gentle social ritual rather than a quick breakfast. Belgian fries deserve their own category of excellence. They're twice fried in beef fat, creating a texture that's impossibly crispy on the outside and perfectly tender inside. They're served with over 15 different dipping sauces, from traditional mayonnaise to curry sauce to truffle sauce. Even though Americans call them French fries, Belgians proudly claim this invention as their own national treasure. Summer brings moule frite, green mussels steamed in white wine and served with those perfect Belgian fries. It's like Belgian-style clam chowder that has become a national obsession. And we absolutely cannot skip Belgian beer, which includes over 1 to 600 different varieties, each with its own specially designed glass. This beer culture is so significant that UNESCO recognized it as a cultural heritage. There's probably nowhere else in the world where street food carries such prestige and cultural importance. Bruges, the Venice of Northern Europe. Bruges has earned the nickname Venice of Northern Europe, but many visitors claim it's actually quieter, cleaner, and more historically preserved than the original Venice. This medieval gem feels like time stopped in the 14th century and never started again. What captivates people about Bruges is its network of ancient canals winding through picturesque cobblestone streets, curving alongside ivy-covered buildings with distinctive pointed roofs. You can sit in a small boat, gliding quietly under stone bridges where sunset light reflects on the water like a living Renaissance painting. The people of Bruges live with deliberate slowness, politeness, and discretion, embodying the spirit of a city that was once one of Europe's wealthiest trade centers during the Middle Ages. They preserve everything with remarkable authenticity, from chocolate shops that have operated for over 200 years to monastery breweries still using recipes from the 15th century. At night, Bruges transforms into a genuine fairy tale realm. There are no billboards, no car noise, just golden lights reflecting on dark waters and the distant tolling of church bells. The entire city center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and in some old neighborhoods, cell phone service is intentionally limited to preserve the peaceful atmosphere. Some evening cafes hang signs reading "Silent Space," where patrons can sit quietly, sip tea, and listen to the gentle sound of water lapping against ancient stones, keeping Bruges forever alive in tranquil beauty. The kingdom of strange and beautiful festivals. Belgium hosts some of Europe's most vibrant and quirky traditional ceremonies, making visitors feel like they have stepped into a living European fairy tale. The Carnival of Binche, recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage, features the famous Gilles, men dressed in bright clothing wearing wax masks and adorned with ostrich feather hats. They parade through streets, dance traditional steps, and toss oranges into crowds as a way to bestow good luck. Being selected as a Gila is considered a tremendous national honor. In August, Brussels Grand Place transforms into a living artwork with Europe's largest flower carpet. featuring over 500,000 fresh begonias arranged in stunning thematic designs, viewed from the town hall balcony. Visitors feel like they're looking down at a classic Disney animation come to life. The Ghent Festival represents one of Europe's largest street festivals. For 10 sleepless days and nights, the entire city of Ghent becomes an outdoor stage filled with live music. Puppet shows, beer trucks, street art, and over 1 million visitors from across Europe. Despite its massive scale, it maintains a friendly, intimate village party atmosphere that makes everyone feel welcome. These facts reveal that Belgium is far more than just a small country between France and Germany. It's a nation where medieval traditions thrive alongside modern innovation, where street food reaches artistic heights, and where even the highways are bright enough to be seen from space. From cat postal services to horseback shrimp fishing. From 800-year-old castles you can sleep in to Christmas markets that outshine all of Europe. Belgium proves that the most incredible discoveries often come in the smallest packages. If this video has inspired you to learn more about Belgium, or plan a visit to experience these amazing facts firsthand, let me know in the comments which facts surprised you the most. Have you ever been to Belgium? Or is it now on your travel bucket list? I read every comment and love hearing about your travel experiences and discoveries. For more incredible facts about other countries around the world that will completely change how you see the world, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. Next week, I'm revealing shocking facts about a nation that are even more unbelievable than what we covered today. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next video where we continue exploring the amazing secrets hidden around the world. Most surprising places.